promised myself I would never do challenges on my channel just because it's not like my style. But I figured that the 20,000 won challenge would kind of fit into what I do because I feel like I use so many different products. If you follow me for a long time, you'll know that I used to only really just do like face makeup, my base, and I would do my eyebrows, but then slowly over time I started getting to contouring, eyeshadow, lipstick, and all that. This will kind of bring me back to the simple days where I had like way less makeup. It's gotten to the point where I have like drawers and drawers of makeup. But I remember back when I only had like a little basket on my desk with a few things. So I thought it would be a fun little challenge and also help those that don't have a lot of money to buy makeup, because I know makeup can get really expensive. Now what I wanted to do is do a look today that's gonna be very basic and like natural, I guess. But I wanted to do another one where it's slightly more makeup, but obviously it's gonna be hard to do that with only 20,000. So I think for the next one, it will be a stronger look, but we'll raise it up to about 30,000 won, which I think is still pretty all right, I guess. You would think to start off with foundation first, but because I feel like foundation can be the most expensive. You can get base products at any price level. For me, what I did is I started with like the rest of my face first, then I would find a product for my face last that will fit however much left I have from that amount. So of course I have to have my eyebrows on, and what I found is the Skinfood Choco Eyebrow Powder Cake. This is actually pretty famous in Korea. I know a lot of girls will use this. I have this in brown, I think. And I figured I could also use this for contouring because it looks like a really good color for contouring. I know there are some where people will use like an eyeliner to both line their eyes and also they'll melt it down to like use as mascara, but I was looking for things I could use for multiple things, but not to the point where I'm like having to melt things and like apply them in these weird ways to use them in other parts of my face. I was trying to look for things that are multi-use, but also like practical, I guess. And then for my lips and cheeks, and actually also eyes, I'm using this Lively Lip Matte from EGLIPS. I use their brow pencil all the time, but they actually have a lot of other like products that are really affordable. They're not too hard to find. I just never shop at the place that you would go to buy them. But this is a basically matte lip product. But this is basically a matte, almost like a liquid lipstick, but it's a lot thinner. So I figure I could use it on my lips and also my cheeks, but also because of that matte texture, I could probably also sweep a little bit on my eyes as like eyeshadow. Because I'm using that for eyeshadow, I thought I could use this. This is the BBIA Cashmere eyeshadow. These are new. This is the number 1 Cozy Daya, and this is part of their new Cashmere collection. I actually bought all of them right here. But I'm only using one for this look, and it's this one, this kind of sparkly shadow. I thought I could use it to highlight my eyes, but also maybe if I use it lightly, I can also highlight my face with it. Now after all of that, I did have about 6,000 won left over. So this is actually the first thing I thought of when I thought of this challenge, is the Saem Tip Concealer. And I was really trying to avoid this because I feel like this is so like, of course, to put this in this video, but they did come out with like a new color, so I wanted to try it, so I put it in here. And like, this is a really good concealer because it's really thin, but it's really good coverage. All right, so let's start with the base. I'm starting with the concealer. The concealer was 5,000 won, because normally I would put foundation all over, and then I would conceal anything that's left with concealer. But because I'm only using concealer, I don't want to like, I could swipe it all over my face, but I feel like most people don't need to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the most obvious imperfections or whatever, and then I'll like little by little I'll get rid of them. I feel like doing it that way will give you a more natural finish rather than putting concealer all over. And it's not gonna make you look cakey, but I always try to get away with as little base as possible. So if I look at myself in a mirror, the thing I notice the most is my dark circles around my eyes. So what I'm gonna do is, I think it's fine, like using all this cheap makeup, and then I got with these brushes here. I could use my fingers, but sorry, not for this challenge. But you can totally use your fingers, of course. You can use brushes. So I'm gonna top this here first. And the concealer's not too dewy. It's more on the matte side, so I really don't, I have oily skin, so I do have to take a lot more steps to make sure my makeup looks better, like lasts throughout the day. Powder and things like that, but because I'm not using powder today, I mean, if you have oily skin, you're gonna have to invest in a powder. Okay, so that got rid of my dark circles. Now, after that, I noticed the redness around my nose and mouth, so I'm gonna conceal that. If you're trying to look for more affordable makeup, if you're gonna be only using concealer for like your base, you want to try to find one that's as close to your skin tone as possible. That way you can avoid using foundation. So as you can see, the more I conceal certain areas, the more other parts seem to pop out, and that way it's easier to catch what you need to conceal. And with this, it's a little red between my brows here, and kind of on my cheeks here, and on the tip of my nose. You can actually also use the puff from Daiso. That's pretty good. Just make sure you wet it and wring it out. That's a really good alternative to like a beauty blender or something. This sponge is from Too Cool for School. Alright, so it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely a lot better than, you know, my bare face, obviously. There are a few more things. I do want to conceal my eyes a little bit. They're a little discolored in this spot that I have right here. So whatever's left on your face that you feel like is still visible, then you can get rid of that. But that doesn't mean you have to put it all over your fucking face, even if you want to. I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't recommend it because concealers tend to be heavier than foundations. So I honestly, unless you really, really, really want to and need it, I would avoid like, oh, I'm trying to save money, so I'm gonna buy concealer and just slap it all over my face. I don't know. Oh God, I'm so used to like using foundations that this is really making me uncomfortable. But it's for the video. I'm doing it for the Vine. All right, so with my base on, I'm gonna be using this eyebrow cake. It comes like in a stiff angled brush that you can use. You know, it's a pretty good brush to fill in your brows, but it would take too long for me, so I'm gonna use my own angled brush. I'm gonna go into the darker shade. And you guys know when I fill in my brows, I'll fill it in with whatever color I want, and then I'll use a matching brow mascara, but because I don't have a brow mascara, I have to find one that matches my actual brow hair. And then I'm gonna use another angled brush, but this is actually really fluffy, and I like to use this for the lighter color and fluff that on the middle part of my brows. You don't want the center to be too blocky and like defined, or else your brows will look like they were pasted on. This is a lot darker than I would be going for, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. All right, now I'm gonna contour my face a little bit with the same thing, but because it's so pigmented, I have to use a brush that's really fluffy, and I have to take that excess shit off. Do you see this? Girl, what is going on? I'm just going for like natural contouring. Oh God. I don't know how you get away with this using just your fingers though. All right, so here's the EGLIPS lip product. This is number LM10. Romantic Rosy Matte. It's kind of like this sort of like a doe foot applicator. And the color's really, really pretty. Oh, bitch. That's strong. What? I'm gonna dot some on. Nothing crazy, just, you know, add a little life. A little life to my face. Bitch, I should have put some lip on, looking dry. That's like a good lip day for like the past 2 days, and then she turned back into her butthole state. Put this on my cheeks, but I don't feel like, because I have some like chapti, like imperfections left, I feel like it would look messy with the blush. Because for me, when I use blush, I have to make sure my skin looks perfect before I put blush on, and I don't think it is in that state right now, so I'm just gonna not. You can use it as blush, but for today, I'm not gonna use it as blush. But I'm gonna take this this brush that's like $50, and I'm gonna use this to apply this same thing as like eyeshadow. Did you see this? I think the swatch I put on my hand is already dry. Just a light wash because I don't want to look like I have a disease. And then to add depth to my eye, I'm gonna go back into this eyebrow palette and use it on a crease brush, or a pencil brush, sorry. This isn't the ideal color I would use. I would use more of like a warm color, but this is for the brow, so it's more like gray. And actually the brush I use to fill in my eyebrows, I'm gonna use it on the darker side and use it almost kind of like an eyeliner. It's still a soft, natural pigment, so it's not gonna be as pigmented as like an actual eyeliner, but we're trying to make do with what we have. And then finally, to add a little bit of dimension to the face, and because I really want a highlighter, I'm gonna use this eyeshadow. This is Koshidaya. God, that matte shit is not coming off. It's the eyeshadow. It has like this rose gold undertone to it. The center there. Oh, bitch. And also the inner corner. Or if you want, you can put on your egg side. Oh, bitch, did it fucking rub off my concealer? I put a little bit on my finger and I'm rubbing it into the back of my hand. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of slightly touch the parts of my face that I wanna highlight. Because this is a super shimmery, glittery shadow. I don't wanna, you know, I don't want that to register. I want it to register more as like a highlighter. Oh, I will say though, it's really crumbly. Do you see that? It really gives you that well. Oh my god, 3001. Actually, I was there and I was trying to avoid products that are on sale because I feel like that's kind of cheating. So I tried to find products that are at full price but are really inexpensive. And this one, it just came out, but it said it was like on sale for 3,900, but there was no like, usually it will show the original price, then a slash, and then a new sale price. But it just said 3,900, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit, include that in there. And BBIA is actually a really popular brand in Korea. It's kind of like e.l.f., I guess, but the quality of the products is like on a whole nother fucking level. Alright, I think that is it. So there is the final look after using all the products that only totaled to 20,000 won. I hope you found that useful, and I think one of the things that make K-beauty so popular is that they have such good products at really low prices, and the same thing is sort of happening in America as well now. If you are in Korea, I definitely recommend going to Lobes and checking out BBIA, and because they have a lot of stuff that are really, really affordable. That's why they're always sold out. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.